Imagine plunging into the depths of the ocean on a single breath. With only seconds to reach the surface or risk never returning. This is the world of no-limits freediving. A world that would not only captivate Audrey Mestre, but also expose chilling flaws in the sport. On October 12, 2002, she attempted a record-breaking dive that should have made history, but ended in tragedy. What went wrong? Audrey Mestre was born with an innate connection to the ocean, moving through water with grace and freedom as if it were her true home. The sea offered her peace and adventure, but also posed a lingering question. How far could she go, and at what cost? Audrey's journey was never just about exploring the ocean. It was about challenging its depths and her own limits. As she pursued marine biology in Mexico, her fascination with the sea turned scientific, revealing the unforgiving pressures of extreme depths. Audrey immersed herself in the study of how the human body withstands such intense conditions, discovering just how fragile one breath can be. In this world of freediving, a single name shone brightly: Francisco Pipín Ferreras. Known for his daring dives and record-breaking achievements, Pipín seemed to embody everything Audrey aspired to. He did more than just explore the ocean, he dared to conquer it. Intrigued, Audrey set off for Cabo San Lucas, determined to meet the man who had mastered the depths she longed to reach. When Audrey and Pipín finally met, their bond was instant and intense, electrified by a shared love for the ocean's beauty and danger. Audrey dove into their training sessions with the zeal of someone who knew this was where she was meant to be. Pipín pushed her to her limits, guiding her through breath-holding exercises, long descents, and the physical strain of underwater pressure. While Audrey's ambition was boundless, Pipín's relentless drive often blurred the line between courage and risk. Friends wondered, was he pushing her too far? Under Pipín's mentorship, Audrey's skills and ambition grew. She thrived in this high-stakes environment, facing the physical toll with relentless determination. Together, they aimed higher, planning for dives that would break records and earn her a place among the world's elite freedivers. Now, Audrey prepared for the ultimate test, a record-breaking dive that would cement her legacy. The ocean called to her, and she embraced its challenge without hesitation. But in a sport where one breath separates triumph from tragedy, the ocean's depths held secrets of their own. As she readied herself to descend, one question lingered. Could she conquer the depths, or would the ocean demand its price? Audrey's fascination with the ocean evolved from curiosity to an obsession that pushed her to extremes few could fathom. Under Pipín's intense mentorship, her life became a relentless pursuit of deeper, darker waters. What drove her to these depths, to a place where a single breath balanced life and death? For Audrey, the ocean represented freedom and power, a sanctuary where she felt truly alive. Pipín recognized this drive in her, the same relentless desire that propelled him, and he pushed her hard, often beyond the comfort of those around them. Freediving has always attracted the bold, from Jacques Mayol's groundbreaking 105 meters in 1976 to Pipín's 162 meters, but each record came with increasing risks. In August 2002, Tanya Streeter set the women's no-limits freedive record at 160 meters, showcasing the incredible potential and dangers of the sport. Audrey aimed to surpass this, setting her sights on a depth of 171 meters or 561 feet, a goal that would challenge everything she knew about freediving. As Audrey trained under Pipín's watchful eye, her aspirations intensified, culminating in October 2002 when she set her sights on a dive that would stretch her to her limits. Together, they aimed for a record-breaking attempt that would write Audrey's name in the record books of freediving legends. During the final training days, Audrey's confidence surged alongside an undeniable tension. The stakes were clear in the world of no-limits diving. Past attempts had ended in tragedy. As the ocean's surface shimmered under the morning sun on October 12, 2002, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Audrey Mestre stood on the brink of history, ready to attempt a no-limits freedive that would shatter records and cement her legacy. The goal was ambitious, 171 meters or 561 feet, a depth that would set the world record and solidify her place among freediving legends. But beneath the calm waters lay an unforgiving world where every breath counted and every decision could mean the difference between life and death. The days leading up to the dive were charged with intense preparations. Audrey and her husband Pipín shared a passion and ambition that fueled their dedication, but also brought immense pressure. As the dive approached, it became evident that Pipín's drive to push boundaries could have profound consequences. Observers noted that Audrey had quickly evolved from an occasional participant in Pipín's projects to a central figure, her natural talent and dedication setting her among the world's elite freedivers. Yet, the shadow of expectation was ominous, with many in the freediving community commenting on Pipín's overwhelming influence. Some even suggested it bordered on recklessness. As the fateful day drew near, the question lingered: was the pursuit of this record worth the risk? On that fateful day, Audrey's final preparations involved meticulous checks of her equipment. As she slipped into the water, her focus was absolute. What emotions surged through her as she took her final breath before plunging into the abyss? The atmosphere on the day of the dive was one of anticipation and concern. The ocean was calm, but the risks were evident. As Audrey slowly reached the record-breaking depth of 561 feet, the silence of the ocean echoed in her ears, amplifying the weight of her intentions and the unknown threats lurking in the dark. Previous record attempts by others like Tanya Streeter, who set the women's record at 160 meters in August of that year, lingered in the minds of those who watched and waited. The risks of blackout and the physiological limits were well known within the community. Freedivers often describe the feeling of being so far underwater as euphoric, yet fraught with risk. At 561 feet, the crushing pressure would make most hearts race, but for Audrey, it was just another step toward her dream. Each movement was calculated, each breath she had taken at the surface counting down to this moment. But as she prepared to ascend, trusting her equipment to guide her safely back, something went wrong. Disaster struck when Audrey activated the lift bag that was meant to carry her back to the surface. To the horror of all, the lift bag failed to inflate. She was trapped, ensnared in a battle against the ocean's crushing pressure. Tension mounted with every passing second. Up above, the surface world remained blissfully unaware. But what did Audrey feel in those depths? In a desperate attempt to save her, Pipín and the team began a frantic rescue operation. However, by the time they reached her, more than 8 minutes had elapsed since she began her dive. When they finally reached Audrey, they found her unconscious, her lifeline to the surface compromised. In a desperate bid to save her, Pipín fought against the overwhelming odds, trying to revive Audrey amidst the oppressive ocean depths. Ultimately, their efforts to resuscitate her were unsuccessful. As the tragic reality of Audrey's last dive settled over the freediving community, questions quickly followed. How could a dive so meticulously planned have gone so horribly wrong? The investigation, led by Kim McCoy, a seasoned physical oceanographer and expert in deep-sea technology, sought to answer that very question. McCoy pieced together the final moments and uncovered a series of chilling oversights. The data exposed a cascade of failures, starting with the sled itself. Audrey's ascent was supposed to be quick, the lift bag propelling her toward the surface. But around 530 feet, the sled malfunctioned, stalling her escape. A bottom safety diver stationed nearby realized something was wrong as he saw Audrey's body go limp. She had blacked out, suspended in the silent darkness, her life hanging on those malfunctioning pieces of equipment. In the weeks following her death, McCoy's findings rattled the freediving community. Safety protocols were shockingly absent. Essential checks were overlooked. There were too few safety divers and no trained medical team on standby. Criticism surged online and within freediving circles, calling out the flawed preparations that led to the tragedy. Questions mounted about the accountability of Pipín and the International Association of Freedivers, the diving organization he co-founded and oversaw. Ricardo Hernandez, a former diving instructor, voiced what many were thinking. He questioned why there had been no immediate response team, why so many pieces of the puzzle seemed deliberately ignored. The safety divers were too sparse, the video footage was held back, and there was little transparency about what truly happened that day. As the freediving community grappled with Audrey's death, lingering questions emerged about Pipín's role. Did her husband's relentless ambition play a part in her tragic end? Was it a fatal oversight, or something more profound? These questions added complexity to an already heartbreaking story, inviting viewers to consider the thin line between support and pressure in the pursuit of greatness. Amid the fallout, Pipín chose to remain largely silent, leaving the freediving community to wrestle with lingering questions and sorrow. The wake of Audrey Mestre's final dive sent ripples through the freediving community, igniting a reckoning in the sport. Audrey's death has since become a powerful story of both the relentless beauty and unforgiving power of the ocean, a place where one misstep could turn a dream into a disaster. In the days that followed, the International Association of Freedivers, Pipín's own organization, faced sharp criticism for its handling of safety on that fateful dive. The freediving world demanded accountability, and under the weight of scrutiny, Pipín shut it down in 2003. Though he was never held legally responsible, the controversy around Audrey's death cast a shadow over his career, leaving a legacy tangled in admiration, grief, and unanswered questions. Audrey's tragic dive changed freediving forever. Safety protocols have evolved, placing a stronger emphasis on training, emergency procedures, and equipment checks. The no-limits discipline lost some of its allure,